China may be getting ready to collapse the entire global economy, and we should be paying more attention to this. And they've been taking advantage of some of the poorest countries along the way. So if you didn't know, China has become the world's largest debt collector. And they're getting ready to collect on some of those debts. And 75 of the nation's poorest countries are in serious trouble. See, if you didn't know, China has become the #1 lender in the world for developing nations, and they started doing it in the 2010s, and they've given over $1 trillion to these nations for infrastructure projects. And that seems like a good thing, doesn't it? But there's an issue. If they don't develop, how are they supposed to pay you back? We can see that the BIR, which is an initiative that China put together, signed on 150 countries, which funded thousands of projects worldwide. And then we can see that some low-income nations took on more debt than they could repay, in some cases leading to Chinese-owned enterprises taking control of the strategic infrastructure. And then it gives an example in 2007 when China took control of Sri Lanka's port that it had a 99-year lease on. Let me put this into simple terms for you. Imagine getting a loan for $1 million that you know you can't pay back, that the loan's like, yeah, don't worry, we'll give it to you, but we own you forever after we give you this money. That's what China's been doing to some of the world's poorest countries. And here's some numbers for you. We can see that the debt collecting is peaking, with China expected to receive $35 billion in interest and principal repayments this year. Of that total, $22 billion is owed by 75 of the poorest and most vulnerable nations. So basically, they've been issuing loans to countries they knew couldn't pay them back in hopes of controlling that country when payment does become due. And that, my friends, is taking advantage of some of the world's weakest nations. Now, are they going to call their debt due? Nobody really knows, but we do know one thing. They've already done it once.